Okay, so let us start today's lesson. I don't know, for some reason this is not included in the Origo book, but this is extremely important. I don't know why they haven't talked about the midpoint. So in any other Swedish books, when I check, you have this idea that how you can find the midpoint of a line segment. It's very strange. Probably they have forgotten. They have added something which is not common, and that's the parabola. So I will skip that part, but I want to include this part because that's extremely important. So this is called the midpoint formula. What does it mean? It means that you have 2 points and then you want to find the coordinates of the midpoint of that line segment, yes? And that is a very nice and simple formula. You just take the average between the x values and between the y values. So you add the x values and then the... I'm recording on my iPad.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So x node. So let me just draw a picture for you here. So the point is that if I have a coordinate system, something like this, yes. For example, you have the point A here. This is your point A. And you have another point here, for example, this is your point B, and then you have this line segment from A to B, yes? And then there is a midpoint, which is exactly have the distance from A to B the same, yes? For example, if I consider this more or less the same, so this is the M. So if this, the question is this, if you give me the coordinates of this point, and if you give me the coordinates of this point, how can I find the coordinates of this point? This is the problem, yes? And this is, you see in the formula. It's as simple as that.
You're given A and B.
Yes, assume that assume that x1 and y1 are given to you. Assume that x2 and y2 are given to you. X node and y node are missing. You know that M is exactly the midpoint. So it means that this distance from M to B is equal to this distance from A to M. You want to find the coordinates of M. So the formula is very simple. You just add them and divide by 2. The x coordinates will give you the x coordinate of M. If you add the y coordinates of A and B, divide them by 2, it gives you the y coordinate. Yes?
Why couldn't you just use the formula you taught us yesterday?
No, that formula gives... No, this is different.
How?
No, that D is a number.
Yeah?
So if I ask you what is the length of MA, you can do it. You can find the length of AB and divide it by 2. It gives you the length.
Okay.
But I am not talking about the length. If you want to calculate the length, yes, you can do that. But I am asking you what are the coordinates. Okay. When I am asking what are the coordinates, I am not waiting for you to give me one number. I am waiting for you to give me 2 numbers, the x coordinate and the y coordinate. Yes? Okay, so the formula is very simple. I want you to understand why this formula is correct in the first place, because if you just memorize that, this is very useless. So why is that? Let me just remind you something of geometry when we learned in Math 1C. So if you remember, let me change my color here. So assume that we had a triangle. Do you remember there was a theorem like this where we talked about similarity of triangles? Yes, I have this triangle, and then let us assume that I draw one line segment, for example this one, parallel to one of the sides here. For example, let me consider that this triangle is ABC, and this point is M and this point is N, and I know that MN is parallel to BC. I know that, okay? So then you remember that we can write something like this. We can write the ratio of AM to AB is equal to the ratio of AN to AC, and it is equal to the ratio of MN over BC. Yes? But you can also write the ratio of AM over MB is equal to the ratio of AN over NC, but in this case you are not allowed to write the ratio of MN over BC. So we had these 2 formulas. So one of them would be enough for us. Here I want to use this idea that if MN is parallel to BC, then I can write AM over MB is equal to AN over NC. Okay, so this we had before in Math 1C. Okay, so that is what we had before. Okay, but how can I use this here? If I ask you if I ask you, can you tell me what is this? Let me draw these vertical lines from here and here and here. And let me also change my color and draw this horizontal line from here to here. Yes? Now, if I ask you what is from here to here, you would say this is x naught, yes? This is the x coordinate of M. And if I ask you what is from here to here, it is x1, yes? And what is from here to here?
x2.
This is x2. So these are the things that you know. And I know that because M is the midpoint, the length of AM and the length of MB are the same. Now let us consider this triangle here. Yes? So you see that this line is parallel to this line. So what I can write AM over MB is equal to this length over this length, yes? So let me give them the names so that I can name them. So let me call this one N, and let me, for example, call this one P. Then I would start writing it like this. I would say that MN is parallel to BP. So this means that I can write AM over MB is equal to what? AN over NP. Do you agree? So if you have forgotten, you can just trust me on that. We had this before. So I am using that and I wrote this. Now, can you tell me what this fraction is? It's 1, yes? Because AM is equal to MB because M is in the middle. So this fraction is nothing except 1 because its numerator and denominator are the same. And this fraction is equal to this fraction. So this means this fraction is also 1. So then let me continue. So this means that 1 is equal to AN in over NP. So what can I conclude about AN and NP? I can conclude that AN is equal to NP. Yes? So what does it mean? It means that if it is in the middle, if I draw a line parallel to this one, it will intersect this one in the middle again. Okay? But now can you tell me, what can I write instead of AN? AN is from here to here. And it is clear it is equal to from here to here. Yes? But can you write something instead of x naught and x1? Yes?
x2 minus x1.
Not x2. I am talking about an. X naught minus x1. Yes? Is that understandable? An is equal to this line. But if I ask you what can I write for this line, you would say that the whole length is x naught. This part is x1. I subtract them. What I have here is x naught minus x1. Yes? So instead of an, what can I write? I can write x naught minus x1. Agree? And on the right hand side, what can I write for NP?
You can write x2 minus x naught.
Agree? x2 minus x naught. So this is x2 from here to here because NP is equal to this. And from here to here is x2. From here to here is x naught. If I subtract them, it becomes exactly what I need. And then we are done. Yes? Do you understand how should I do that? I move this negative x naught to the right, to the left, and I move this x1 to the right. Okay, so what happens? On the left hand side, I have x naught. That x naught goes to the left. It becomes positive x naught. And then I have x minus x1. I move it to the right. It becomes positive x1. I already have x2 there.
You have 2x now, actually.
Yes. On the left-hand side, it becomes 2x naught. On the right-hand side, you have x1 plus x2. Yes? I am looking for x naught, so I divide by 2. And that is one of those formulas that we are supposed to show. You can do the same argument, but instead of doing it on the x-axis, you do it on the y-axis and you get the second formula. So you can do it as an exercise yourself. So here you see that I told you that in analytic geometry we want to do something in we want to relate algebra and geometry. But you see, if now someone asks you, do you remember? Let me go to the distance formula. What was the theorem behind this? What was the geometric theorem behind this? It was Pythagoras' theorem, yes? And now I am discovering another formula in analytic geometry But if someone asks you where this formula is coming from, now you understand this formula is valid because this theorem was valid. So it is coming from the similarity of triangles. So the similarity of triangles translate itself into this new language when it comes to this. So this, I want you, of course, if you don't know these connections, that's okay, but I want you to understand it deeply. It would be more fun, okay? So from now on, remember, that was a good question that Gustav asked because I have forgotten to write that remark here. So be careful. If you want to find half the length, you need to use the length formula. But if you want to find the coordinate of the middle point, you need to find an x value for x coordinate, y value for y coordinate. Then you have to use this formula. Yes, and the formula is very easy to remember. So I don't know. I think this formula is in the formula sheet. We don't have it here, but I don't know. In Origo book, it is absent. Let us. I don't know. Here. It's is it Math 1? Yes. So even the distance formula is not here.
It's okay, don't memorize.
Are you gonna make your own formula sheet?
No, this is the good point is that you have to memorize it.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so anyone, none of them is there. Okay, so let us do some exercises together. So remember, don't say that you haven't talked about this. This is not in the book, but it is demanded from you. Okay, so you need to know that. So, okay, let us solve some problems together. So consider the points A, 2 and minus 5, B, minus 4 and minus 1. Very simple. Determine the coordinates of the midpoint of the line segment AB. So how should I solve the problem? It's simple. So I would say that let M with coordinates x node and y node be the midpoint. Okay, so what is x node? We just learned the formula. It is x1 plus x2 divided by 2. But x1, you can just read it immediately. It is 2 plus, it doesn't matter, by the way, which one is x1, which one is x2. And then you divide it by 2, so it becomes minus 2 divided by 2. It becomes minus 1. And y node, let us write the formula. Divided by 2. And then it becomes minus 5 plus minus 1 divided by 2, which is what? Minus 6 divided by 2, which is minus 3. And then what you need to write as the answer, that's the point. So I would say M has coordinates minus 1 and minus 3. So that is just a very simple application of that formula. Yes? Okay, so let me see if I can use this keyboard for GeoGebra as well. So if I switch, oh no, that is the same. If I switch to GeoGebra, I think there is also an instruction there. So I go to view. Okay, so let me just ignore that. So 3D, I want to get rid of 3D here. Okay, so I think if I remember, there should be an instruction for GeoGebra, give you the middle point. So here, for example, what was the point? Can you read them, Gustav? What was the points? So what is A?
A was 2 and negative 5.
2
and negative 5.
Negative 5.
I didn't have time to write the other.
Okay, so what is B? Can someone else read it for me? Minus 4 minus 1. Okay, so these are the points. So you see this point. So this A, we have point A and we have point B, and there is I think there is a rule here. So not here. You go to points. You see midpoint or center. Do you see that? Yeah. So I click on it, midpoint on center, and then I go choose A and choose B. It gives me the midpoint. Okay. So that midpoint is C. And let me read the coordinates. Do you confirm that that is what I calculated? You see, it is minus 1 and minus 3. So that is the idea behind finding the midpoint. Is that understandable? Yes? Okay. So now let us go to the next example. Make it the examples a little bit harder. Okay. Okay, now tell me, how do you solve this problem? What's your opinion? Just talk to me because I want to give you some time to practice as well. So consider the points M and N with these coordinates. Show that the midpoint, show that, I should write a the, show that the midpoint of the line segment MN lies on the line 2x plus y equals to 6. The question is clear. I have 2 points, there is a midpoint, there is a line. I want to show that that midpoint is on the line. Just tell me what to do. Yes, Abdullah?
You get the midpoint first.
Yes?
And then put it in the formula.
If it turns out to be true, then it means that yes, that midpoint lies there. If not, it is not. Yes, as simple as that. Thank you very much. So what do? I do the same thing. I would say I don't know. For example, let us call it this time Q. Q with coordinates x naught and y naught be the midpoint. Okay? So then x naught is equal to what? 4. X naught, it doesn't matter. For example, like x1 and x2.
Sure.
Yes? But when you call one of them x1, the other one x2, you can call the other one x3. Yes. I don't know. It's more beautiful to call it x naught. Okay? So x naught is just 4 plus 1 divided by 2, which is 5 over 2. And then what is y naught? Y naught is y1, 3 plus minus 1 divided by 2. So then what happens? It becomes 2 divided by 2, which is 1. So it means that my midpoint is 5 over 2 and 1. Okay, so this is my midpoint. I want to check if this is true, that this midpoint lies on this line or not. So how should I check it? I would write it as 2. Instead of x, I put 5 over 2. Instead of y, I put 1. Instead of equality, I put equality 6. If this is true, then I am done. If this is not true, it is not correct. Is it true or not? It's clear, because 2 times 5 over 2 is 5 plus 1. Is it equal to 6? 6 equals to 6. So this is true. So it means that I showed that this point actually lies on the line. Is that clear? You can also check it using GeoGebra. Yes, it's very simple. Okay, let us go to more interesting problems. Any questions here, by the way? Yes?
So since this isn't in the book, I'm supposing you'll give us a lot more problems that we can work on that.
That is enough. The problems around this is enough for understanding.
Okay, yeah. So there's not going to be harder problems?
No.
Okay.
You cannot make it hard. The last example is a little bit hard, but you cannot make it that hard, okay? So go here. Number 8. Consider the points A and B with these coordinates. Determine an equation for the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. What is perpendicular bisector? These are the words it is good to know. So let me just describe it here for you in the margin here. So if I have this point A and I have another point B here, so let me change my color. So this is part of the teaching. Assume that I have a point here A and I have another point here B. Yes? Perpendicular bisector. It means that I want to draw a line that intersects this and it is perpendicular to it and it divides it into 2 equal pieces. That is called perpendicular bisector. So this is this line.
Yeah, but perpendicular.
It's perpendicular is 90 degrees.
Does that mean horizontal?
No, perpendicular means 90 degrees. Yes? Perpendicular bisector. This one is equal to this one. Okay? So that is the meaning of perpendicular bisector. Is that clear? Okay. So when I ask you, now I want to determine an equation for the perpendicular bisector of the line segment AB. This is a combination of this problem and chapter 2 problems. So I don't know why Origo has divided this. If I want to write a book, I would continue this part as part of the line equations, because that's also analytic geometry. By the way, that's also analytic geometry. I think if you go back and listen to my lectures, I talked about analytic geometry at that point. Because what a line is a geometric shape. But in that chapter, if you remember, we replaced the geometric shape with an equation. So it means that we used algebra to understand something about geometric objects like lines. So apparently that chapter that you are going to have the test, that part is also analytic geometry, that first part. Okay, so now you want to find the perpendicular bisector. You want to write an equation, which is the problem in chapter 2, determine an equation of the perpendicular bisector of this line segment. I am waiting for you. We couldn't solve this problem at that point because we didn't know about the formula for the midpoint. But now can you tell me, because you are going to essentially have the exam. Of course, I will not ask this question in that exam, but in principle, you should tell me how to do that. I want to determine an equation for a line. What do I need? Yes?
You need the middle.
No, in general. I'm talking about general. I'm just talking in chapter 2. So,
Equation of a line, yeah.
so how do you want to find an equation of a line?
K form.
K form. For example, you need to find the K value. You need to find a point on the line.
Yeah.
Yes? If you know them, you can put them in 1-point formula or the K form of that, you can find it. Yes? Okay, let us solve it together. So let me draw this picture. So everyone agrees with me. This picture is not a real picture. I am just trying to draw something to motivate myself. So the question mark is on this one. I want to write an equation for this. Okay. First of all, can you tell me how can I find the coordinates of this point? Yes, this is exactly the middle point, okay? And this point is good for me because I know that this is on this line that I am supposed to write its equation. So let us find this one. So if you don't mind, let me call it, for example, M. Okay, so what is, by the way, sometimes people write it like this. X of M means the x coordinate of the point M. Yes, it is more reasonable. I can write it as x of A plus x of B divided by 2. Yes, so what is x of A? It's 2. What is x of B? Is 6. And then I divide it by 2, so it becomes what? 8/2, 4. And then I do the same thing for y. Y coordinate of point M is equal to y coordinate, the y coordinate of A, the y coordinate of B added, divided by 2. So what's the y coordinates? 3 and 1, divided by 2. So it is 4/2, it is 2. So it means that from here, I conclude that my point M is 4 and 2. So that is important. Okay, so for this pink line, I need two pieces of information. I need one point that I can convince myself is on the line, so I have it. I don't need to look for anything better. There is no better here. 1 point works. But then I need to find the K value for the question mark. This is exactly what you studied in chapter 2. So how should I find the K value for the question mark? This you have the exam for it.
Well, you could
Yes?
put out another point, and you just change the y.
This doesn't work here because we don't know this line yet. So I cannot find any other point.
But isn't it perpendicular to the the y-axis?
No, I told you it is a misleading picture. I don't know. This might be like this. I told you this is a picture that I am drawing for myself in the scratch paper. This is not the real picture.
Okay.
Come on, you have the exam.
There was this formula. If you find the K value of A and B.
How? By the formula.
Yeah. So you take A and B, and you take the x and y values, put them over each other,
Mm-hmm.
K value, and then you flip it and make it.
Put a negative sign. Yes, that's the idea. So that's a very important part of this exam coming. Okay, please make sure that you understand it. So here, what I would write, as you suggested it correctly, let us write K, and I put an AB here. It means I am considering the K value of AB. The formula is given, of course, y of A, y of B, subtract them, and then divide them by corresponding subtraction of x coordinates. So what is y of A? It's 3. Y of B is 1. Divided, what's x of A? 2. What's x of B is 6. So it is 2 divided by -4. I simplified, it becomes -1/2. But K value of the question mark multiplied by the K value of AB should be what?
-1.
It should be -1 because you are telling me this is perpendicular bisector because this angle is 90 degrees. Okay, can you just guess what is the K of question mark? It's 2. Agree? because I want to multiply a number by minus a half so that the answer becomes minus 1. So it's clear it's 2. Okay, now everything is ready. What should I do? I need to write the equation. I myself prefer to write 1-point equation formula. So I don't know. If you want, you can write the K form with M. But I myself prefer to do it here. Okay, but it's extremely important not to confuse the notations here. Okay, so here, if I ask you what is K, you would say K is 2. If I ask you what are Y node and X node, you would say these are these numbers. Yes, so what you write, it becomes Y minus 2 equals to 2, X minus 4. And of course, we simplify it as usual. And then I move it to the right. So this is your answer. Is that understandable? Yeah? Okay. So I want to test this idea by GeoGebra to understand what is going on. So I would appreciate if you just read these numbers for me. So let me use the keyboard. The keyboard was easier. So yeah, okay, thank you. So I will go to GeoGebra. So let me get rid of these things. Okay, so what was the first point? A,
2 and 3.
2 and 3.
And B is 6 and 1.
So B is 6 and 1.
Yep.
Okay, good. Okay, so you see here. By the way, GeoGebra has also a perpendicular bisector implemented
Wait,
itself.
you put negative sign in A.
Ah, okay, I made a mistake, sorry. So let me just edit it. So what was the real one?
Just 2 and 3.
2 and 3, okay, that's good. So you see that picture that I drew for you, it was not correct. So this is the real A, this is the real B. Okay? There is an instruction in GeoGebra. If you go here, you see it's called perpendicular bisector. It's in the third one, yes? So I click on it, and then what I do, I click here and there. Yes?
Hold up now.
Yes?
The B value just changed.
What? No,
How
that...
did it become...
Oh, you are right.
I'm so confused.
No, this GeoGebra Classic 6 is actually doing weird things. So let us do it again from.
Okay.
Is this A correct or wrong?
No.
It's wrong.
2 and 3.
Okay, so I don't know why this happened.
I have no idea.
A is 2 and 3.
Yep.
So this is the point A. So we confirm that this is the correct point. 2 and 3. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
And then go to B.
6 and 1.
6 and 1 is equal to 6 and 1.
No.
No.
Very close.
So 6 and 1.
There
This
we
is
go.
6 and 1. Okay. Let me, by the way, do this. Let me draw this line segment here that you can see it. So I go from here to here. Okay. So this is my line segment. Yes. Now I want to draw the perpendicular bisector. What is the perpendicular bisector? I go to this third option here. There is a perpendicular bisector, you see. I click on it. And then I choose this. I should be able to choose it, yes. This line that you see is called the perpendicular bisector. By the way, if you see, the equation is clear here. So this equation is a little bit different. It is minus 2x plus y equals to minus 6. But in your head, move minus 2x to the right. What it would be y equals to 2x minus 6. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So let us now go back here. 2x minus 6. So that's exactly the same answer. So GeoGebra has this instruction implemented in it. So it's probably a very good idea to work with GeoGebra as much as possible because it teaches you a lot of things. So now you understand what's the meaning of perpendicular bisector. So if you want to have a perpendicular bisector, you should give me a line segment. Then I can give you the perpendicular bisector. Yes? Okay. So let me just make sure everyone understand what's going on in this picture. Yes? Clear? Yes, good. So now let us go back to another problem here. So I want to wait a little bit for you to solve this problem for me. Okay, so let me just stop this from recording. It's good. At least if you forget, you can find it. Okay, that's good. But in principle, you should know at this point, if I give you this question, find the slope of this line, there is an easier way to do it. So how do you find the slope of this line? Yes?
You just change it.
Yeah, you make y alone,
Exactly.
and the coefficient of x is the k value. So finding the k value of a line is correct. Either what you said is correct.
Okay.
So what Gustav is saying is that very close. It's not finished yet. So you say that, okay, I can find the k value of this, and every one of you know that this should be perpendicular to this, and I am looking for this point here. Yes? So Gustav is saying that by finding the k value of this, I can also find the k value of this, because we know that these are perpendicular. Okay? And then I have this point. This is given to me. I have the k value. So what I do, I write the equation for this line. That is completely clear, correct up to here. But how can I use this information finally to find my point? Yes?
Maybe it will be the same distance from that point to the line in the middle.
That's completely correct, but it is hard to do it algebraically.
Okay.
And then, by the way, there is a big hint here. What I am teaching you, I am teaching you the midpoint formula. So it means that this example somehow should be related to what I am talking about right now, unless I am crazy.
No, you're just crazy.
Okay. So what is if you can find this, then I'm done. Everything is done. So this problem is actually a very nice problem from chapter 2, actually. Most of it is from chapter 2. Okay, so let me try to tell you what to do at least. Then I can leave the algebra to you at least. So I go to a scratch paper because I don't want to spend my time to do everything precisely here. So I go to a scratch paper. I convince myself, for example, this is a line and this is my point. So let me call it A, because you know that this is the wrong. By the way, why I immediately realize this is the wrong line for this equation?
Yeah, because that's not how it looks.
Okay, why? How do you immediately realize? So how do you know that? Yes, the k value is negative. If I move x to the right, the k value is negative. I told you, if it is horizontal, k is 0. If k is negative, it should be in this direction. If k is positive, it should be in this direction. Yes? And what about perpendicular lines? This is not defined. So this is completely clear, it's wrong. But I don't care for this because it's scratch paper. I just want to understand the strategy. So you understand what is going on. So what you do, you draw a line perpendicular to this, and then you continue it exactly in the same as the same size here. So it's a little bit longer here now.
That's the mark of Christ.
Yeah, so here this becomes, let me call it B. I want to find this, and I know that this angle is 90, this angle is 90. I know that, let me call this M, for example. I know from A to M is equal from M to B. Okay? So let us cooperate and try to solve it. Okay, tell me, how can I find the equation for AB? This is exactly what you have exam on it. You should be able, all of you, this was one of the standard problems I solved for you when I was teaching. You should be able to find an equation for this line. So that is exactly what Gustav said. Yes? So let us do it in this way. I would say 2x plus 3y is equal to 6. I want to make y alone. So this becomes minus 2x plus 6. I divide by 3. So it becomes minus 2/3 of x plus 2. If I ask you what is the k value of this line, it becomes what? Minus 2/3. But now can you tell me what would be the k value
3/2
of AB? Yes. The k value of AB is 3/2. Everybody agrees? Yes or no?
Yep.
Okay. But now how can I write the equation of AB? It is clear. A, you gave it to me. I found it myself that k of AB is this. So I use 1 point formula. 1 minus y node is equal to k times x minus x node. So what is y node here? What's the number? Read it for me.
3.
3. And what is the k value?
K value is 3 over 2.
3 over 2. Okay, so I just want to make sure that you are not confused. X, what is x node?
X is 2.
2. And let us simplify that. So it becomes y minus 3 is equal to 3 over 2x minus 3. 3 over 2 times 2 is 3. And then it's very simple now. This minus 3 and that minus 3 are cancelled. So this is...
Clarify.
Yes?
I think that you wrote right there with the line.
Yes?
It's wrong, right?
Wrong?
Yeah, the AB. It's like you know the line that you drew.
Yeah?
There. Is it correct? Because it
No, I don't care about the real picture.
Yeah, that picture, it's wrong, right?
No, this is schematically it's correct. Yeah, it is correct for my purpose. It is not the exact picture.
You wrote that the k value of AB is positive, but the slope is looking like it's negative.
I told you that. Forget about those things, okay?
I'm just a bit confused with the drawing.
No. This is the bad thing. You always care about to be precise. To be precise takes time. And then you complain the time was not enough in the test. Because you want to make precise things, which is not necessary at all. Who cares? I want to understand what is the goal behind this exercise. Okay, of course, if I want to do it correctly, which I will do, I will go to GeoGebra and you see that. Then that would be the precise picture. But if I want to do it precise, it means that I need to draw the coordinate system carefully, to draw this carefully. So this takes time for nothing. Yes? Okay, so this is y equals to 3 over 2x. Okay, now I want to see what is your strategy from now on. So let me write something. If I ask you, do you know this equation? I would say yes. This is this one. Do you know this equation? I would say yes. But what do you do from now on? Yes?
You take the distance from A to M, and then that's just the same distance as...
M is not clear yet. What is M?
M is just the middle. You use that equation.
What is? How can you find M?
You use the coordinates of A and B.
You don't. If you have B, the problem is solved.
We don't have... Oh, sorry.
We are looking for B, yes? If you know B, what I'm looking for.
You said the midpoint formula was useful in this.
Definitely.
So maybe you use that, maybe.
Yes, but how?
That is the question.
Yes. Yes?
To take the intersection.
Yes, this is the exam part. You have the exam of this on Monday. You should be able to find M. Yes? M is the intersection between two lines. One line is this line, and this line is here. So you have to solve a system of equations, and then you find M.
This is just everything.
Yes, it is everything, and this is the nice problem. Okay? So what I need to make a system now. Okay? So I would write 2x plus 3y equals to 6, but you understand what is going on. Y is equal to 3 over 2. Do you agree? Let me ask you once more. If I solve this question, this algebraic equations, how do you interpret the answer geometrically? You would say that x and y are the coordinates of hello. What is the name of intersection? M. So this, if I solve this system, the coordinates are the coordinates of M. Okay, so let us solve it. I don't know which one you prefer. I think elimination method is better here, because instead of y, I just put 3 over 2x. So what happens? This becomes 2x plus 3 times 3 over 2x equals to 6. And then this becomes 2x plus 9 over 2x is equal to 6. I multiply everything by 2 because I hate fractions. It becomes 9x equals to 12. And then 13x is equal to 12. Yeah, let me please check my calculations, because it would be fun if it wouldn't be fun if we make mistakes in C GeoGebra. It doesn't work. Okay, so this is the x coordinate. Yes? And then what is the y coordinate? When I found this, I put it back into this equation, and I find the y coordinate. So what happens? So y coordinate is 3 over 2 times 12 over 13. What's the answer? It's 18 over 13. Yes? And then it means that if I ask you what is the m coordinate, what is the m coordinate? It is 12 over 13, 18 over 13. Okay, now can you do the algebra? But still the problem is missing. I need the coordinates of B. I found the coordinates of M, which is the middle point. I know the coordinates of A, but the coordinates of what I want is still missing. Yes, Abdullah?
The coordinate of m to multiply with 2 and then minus 8.
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you very much. So, unfortunately, I haven't enough space here, but let us just do that. Let me just change the color and you understand what I write here. Oh, by the way, we don't need this. Yeah, let us keep it. We know that x of m is equal to x of a plus x of b divided by 2. X of m I know, it is 12 over 13, yes? X of a I know, it is 2. X of b I don't know. Divided by 2. I multiply by 2, it becomes 24. 24 over 13 is equal to 2 plus xb. I move 2 to the other side, so xb is this number minus 2. If you do it in your head, it becomes minus 2 over 13. Yes? Is that clear?
I think Abdullah should have an A on the test.
Yes. Because he actually gave the 2 points. So, okay, very good. And now, if you don't mind, let me clean this because I do not have enough space and because I want to check it with GeoGebra as well. Hopefully my calculations are all correct because then that would be very pity. Okay, so ym is equal to ya plus yb divided by 2. And then what is ym? It's 18 over 13 is equal to what is x? Y of a is 3, y of b is we don't know, divided by 2. If I do it, it becomes 36 divided by 13 is equal to 3 plus y of b. If you do it in your head, yb becomes minus 3 over 13. So then finally what you need to apply here as the answer is, it was not possible to predict it, by just looking at the picture. But hopefully I haven't done calculations wrong. Can you confirm my calculations are correct?
No.
No? Okay, this is the easiest answer, yes? You need to take responsibility. Yes? Okay, so let us check this with GeoGebra, yes? Okay, thank you. So you have already done that?
I think it's fascinating that that 2 and 3 appear in the B coordinate also.
Yes. So what is important, this I consider a good problem. Because if you want to solve this, first of all, the setup of the problem was so simple. It was just half a line. And then you have to learn, you have to do everything what you have learned in chapter 2 and here, yes? You need to understand how to find the k value from the equation. You need to understand what is the relation between perpendicular lines. You need to know how to find the intersection point. So you need to know how to solve the system of equations. And then you need to use this midpoint formula. Yes?
Is this a higher level than the book?
Yes, unfortunately, yes, but not higher level than the level of you.
Okay.
I don't know why. So I will change the book, by the way, to the exponent. That's much nicer book. So then you will have a little bit of challenge there.
And this question would be an A++ question.
No. Well, so in this test, yes, I wouldn't consider it A++, but might be A level. Yeah, A++. Okay.
Okay.
So I don't know, but there are some good problems in your book as well. But I mean, I don't know. Was it hard?
Not necessarily.
It's not hard, but you need to get used to this way of thinking. Yes, you need to trust yourself. Because when I ask you find the intersection point, this is what I'm saying. When you study chapter 2, especially you are studying right now, if I ask you how can I find the intersection point, it should be a matter of seconds for you. There is a standard way. I need equations, put them in a system, solve the system. Yes? Yeah. Yes?
So, but the questions like this will be on the test, right?
No, I will not give these kinds of questions.
This will not be on the
No, but I will give you some questions about this midpoint. Very simple ones.
Okay, only
Yeah.
the simple.
Yeah.
So you're giving this just.
Yeah, but next year my point is to give you hard questions as bonus.
Okay.
Yeah, so I need to find a way to do that.
So if it were like, so if this were like a test in 2022, then you might have this as like an extra points question.
My goal is to make this question a C-level question. We want to go up to there, yes.
Okay.
I forgot my question.
Yeah, no problems.
Do you have a simple question?
So, yes, we will come to it, but can you please read it for me? Let us test the idea using GeoGebra.
Read what?
Okay, I don't know if GeoGebra is capable to give you the reflection. If there is an instruction, we will find it. Otherwise, we need to find a different way. So, let me go to GeoGebra. So, let me get rid of all these things. I don't know, this is a very simple... Could you discover how can I get rid of all of them simultaneously?
I think if you delete the top one, maybe everything underneath also disappears.
Ah, okay, okay,
You can try
good.
that next time.
Okay, but I don't know why this line is dangling there, you know?
You never know.
Okay,
No,
but
it's because you're on that setting.
which setting?
You're on the perpendicular bisector setting. If you go back to the pointer.
No, but everything ruins out now.
Well, okay, then it's back.
Yes.
Oh, see?
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Okay.
But I want to get rid of this one now. Okay, okay, good.
It's fine.
So, what is the line? First, read the line for me.
Line is 2x.
2x plus
3y
3y
equals to 6.
equals to 6. So this is my line.
Yep.
Okay, and then what was the point? A
Eight
was
is 2 and 3.
2 and 3. So that's the point. I want to find the reflection of that, by the way, here. I don't know if there is an... so let us read these things. Do you see something about reflection here? I don't see something here. What about here? No, okay, let us go... here. By the way, the GeoGebra has this instruction. Very nice. Reflect about a line. Do you see that?
Yeah.
So I put it here, and then I press here, and then here. Oops. So I press here, and this line. It should give me. So let me just do it again. This one, it is here.
Is that a reflection?
So it is giving
What is
us.
going on?
I don't know. This classic 6 is actually driving me crazy.
Okay, so that's
So this is your point. It
it's
is
not a reflection. That's wrong.
no, it's reflection. It's reflection.
No.
So if you don't believe, let us check it. This idea. I connect this one with that one. Yeah, that's exactly. It's clear that this is reflection. Do you see that? And now let us see. GeoGebra gives you this decimal numbers. Okay. So Gustav, can you read what I found for the x coordinates of the point B?
XB
Yes.
is -2 over 13.
Over 13. Yeah, exactly that number.
Yes.
You see? And then what was the other one?
YB is -3 over 13.
-3 over 13. So that's exactly that number.
Okay.
So what we got is actually we did this calculation. So it was not easy at all to guess even using GeoGebra. If you have the graph, this is the most precise graph that you have. But you cannot read the coordinates of that point. Even GeoGebra is giving you some decimal points. This is not the exact one. What we got is the exact one. So you should be happy. You are very powerful now. Yes? Because you can find exact values. Yes.
Is there a setting that lets you see the fraction instead of the...
I don't know. I need to discover it. Might be if we go to CAS view, we can find it exactly. I think so.
Maybe.
Yeah, we can check it later. But at least you understand now what's going on. Let us go to another problem. Test your understanding. Of course, just one moment. Let me see what is the next problem. Yeah, this is the last problem. I don't want to start it today. If you are interested, you can work on it. It's a good problem. I want to give you time to practice a little bit. So what is the time, by the way? 10 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay, sorry, I forgot about time. Okay, so what was your question?
Yeah, my question was, I just...
Okay, so it was not a real question.
Well, but we already practiced for the test through this question example 9.
Yeah, so that means that was helpful for the exam as well, because you reviewed a lot of concepts there. Okay, let us think about this problem. No problems. This is also something that we can do it. So the points A, B, and C are vertices of the triangle ABC. Sketch this triangle in the coordinate system. Yeah, that is just something very simple. Determine the length of the median. I want to define this word for you. The median of a triangle, what does it mean? If I have a triangle, if I take one vertex and connect it to the midpoint of the opposite side, this is called one of the medians. This is, for example, if this is ABC and this is M, AM is a line segment. It is called the median corresponding to vertex A. This is the definition of median. Yes? So how many medians are there? 3. I can take B and connect it to the middle point, and there is a very nice nice theorem. All of them passes through the same point. This is very interesting. So if I take this one and connect it to the middle point, it automatically passes through this one. And this is called the gravitation center of a triangle. If you have a thin plane, thin triangular plate, if you find this point and you put it on a needle, it will be in the balanced form. Yes? So it remains horizontal. So that's the center of gravity of a triangle. So it's very nice to know that this happens. Okay, yes?
So the length of the median from the corresponding to vertex A, is that just the height of the triangle?
No. The height is the perpendicular line. So this is good to know. For one vertex, we have 3 line segments. I want you to know. It's good to know. Don't write. Listen. If I have a triangle, if I take this point and draw a perpendicular line, this is called the height.
Okay, and could you draw the...
And then in the middle, if I connect it to the middle, this is called the median.
Okay.
And there is another thing, it's called angle bisector. If I make this angle into 2 equal pieces, then this is called internal angle bisector. So for each vertex of a triangle, 3 line segments are important to know. Height, median, and the internal angle bisector. Yes? This I would consider, I think I would consider the C-level question, but determining the area is interesting. How can you find the area of the triangle? If I draw this triangle for you, this is easy. If this line is parallel to this one, it is easy to find the area. Do you agree? Because you find the x coordinate here and the coordinate here, so you subtract them, it becomes this, and then you can immediately find this height, multiply them and divide them by 2. But if you have something like this in the coordinate system, none of them is parallel, this is a hard problem. And this is one of those. I want you to be able to solve the area. This I will consider a C-level question. If you understood what I said in the previous problem, you can immediately find the area of this triangle as well.
And this is not using any calculator?
No, calculator is not necessary. The numbers are so small that we can calculate probably by hand. Yes? I want to stop this video, and then if you are interested, try to think about this problem for tomorrow, okay? But tomorrow I will solve this one and I will give you the whole session to practice, okay? I forgot to give you time practicing. This is why I myself get more excited than you, okay? This is the first thing. You need to have this as a passion. Mathematics should turn to your passion, then you will learn. I'm not forcing you to learn mathematics, but if you think that mathematics, you can learn it without having it as a passion, that is probably a joke. Yes, so I will stop here. Thank you.